Hi all you beautiful people. Today I've got a lot of yogurt, so I've got plenty of soured milk, and I just thought I'd show you how I make this very simple feta cheese, which I think works really well every time really. So yeah, let's do it. I just took off some fresh milk because I need a little bit of fresh milk. So I think there's about maybe 2.5 litres there, approximately. So, and what I use is, this is called milk in Danish, churning milk, which is buttermilk. And they always, I reckon the Danish butter is the most beautiful butter in the world. I just love Danish butter. And this is actually made with protection of animals, so it's organic and they have good conditions for the animals. That's another thing. They use acidophilus. So let's just have a closer look here. Just get my glasses. Yeah, it says that it's milk, organic milk, culture, lactic acid culture, highly pasteurized and not homogenized. So it doesn't say if there's acidophilus in this, but I know there is because it's very sweet. So all I really do is, I know I can feel the milk is just lukewarm, and I don't even check the temperature. I just pour in this, and I pour quite a bit in, maybe 2.5 deciliters. Give it a good stir, and I come back. I leave it for a long time, so it actually cools down quite a lot. And I come back when it smells really sweet and acidophilus-like. So see you later. So now it's been about 5 or 6 hours, and it's sort of a nice room temperature it's in. And I found out that the whole thing of oh, wait a sec. I want the rennet. So this is the rennet, and I found out you can actually make a cheese with very, very little rennet, and you don't even have to mix it with water. I mean, keep it simple, sweetheart. So for 8 litres I usually use about 4 to 5 drops, and this is only 2 or 3 litres, so I'll just use 1 or 2 drops. See what happens here. Maybe this is at about 1.5, I think, and just stir it in. And I can feel it's quite cool, the milk now, but it usually just works. And we'll see when it's nice and coagulated and stiff. So we'll get back to it. So now it's been about 2 hours, and you can see how it's breaking off beautifully, although it's only 1.5 drops. So let's cut it. Okay, so just leave it again and come back to it. So you can just use a cloth if you like, but I have these old molds, and they're very smart. And I'm not very fussy about cleaning them. I just clean them with soapy water, hot soapy water. Because it's not a cheese that's going to be aged. See, it just has this little dent in here. Because it's a very fresh cheese, it doesn't really matter. There's some funny bacteria in there. So they go together like that. And it's been about an hour, I think, or less than an hour. About an hour. And it's looking really good. So just scoop it up here. Now, this is not such a big amount of milk, so they'll be quite small cheeses, but I could just use the one mould, but you have to wait till it's contracted more. So I'll just and it smells very nice. Very good bacteria. You can smell it. Sometimes when there's just lots of yeast in the air, you can smell that the cheese has gone, there's yeast in there, and it doesn't smell nice and sweet. But this smells really lovely. I haven't had that happen for a long time, really. So, make them about the same size. Put this on and just leave it for 10 minutes and then we'll turn it. And if I put it up into a cloth, I just hang it up, and after a while I would just scoop it round in the cloth so that if it's quite a big cheese, I'll scoop it around in the cloth. But this is so simple, you just turn these. So we'll turn them in 10 minutes. So usually I'll turn this over the sink because it gets a bit messy, but let's just try doing this. Because the sink is messy. That's why. I don't want to put that on a film. So let's just see. And sometimes the cheese will stick. Yeah. But that looks okay. Give it a good shake and turn it again in about an hour. I'll do that a few times. And tomorrow we're going to salt it. So yeah, we'll get back tomorrow and I'll do the salting. So easy. So this is the next morning, and I forgot to say, if you have it in a cloth, hanging in a cloth, you can actually, when it's quite firm, you can turn it, just take the cloth down, open it, and just turn the cheese in the cloth. You can do that. You don't need these. So it smells really, really good of acidophilus. And I used to measure the salt. Now I don't do that anymore because I just love the easy way. So I just put salt all over, sort of like this. Just rub it in so I can sense that it's everywhere. Of course, sea salt. So we're getting all the beautiful minerals from the ocean. So it's just wonderful when you don't have to think so much. That's what I love about this cheese. You just don't have to think. You don't have to measure. And now I could have just, I'm going to turn this now. Just pour this whey off. You can use the whey for so many things, and also for a cleanse. Just drink whey for a few days. It's very good for you if you can tolerate milk. And as I've said on my other channel, if you want to do a whey cleanse, you let the whey, you let it sour well, so it's full of all this beautiful beneficial bacteria. So now today it's going to stay in the warmth, and you can cover it a bit, just so it, I mean, it needs a little bit of covering. So I might just go like that and leave it in the heat. So, and tomorrow it's going to go into the cellar. So see you then. So now, it's actually, I lost a little video, so I'm just going to do it like this. This morning, the cheeses had been in here in the heat all night, so that for 24 hours they'd been in a warm place, and you could see that more of the whey had come off, and you can see they're quite firm now. But I was so much feeling like cheese yesterday, so I took some of that one. Did my little apple snack that I'll show you in a film. Now this one has oregano on it, and it's something I found out because I used to have them in oil, and I found out the oil actually got quite unpleasant after a while. So when you have your cheese like this, I'm going to have to cut this one. You can see how it cuts. It's really quite firm. See. When you have your cheese like this, it will go yeasty if it's not really cold. So, but it's quite cold in our cellar now, so it's okay for maybe a week at least. I think it will be fine. It really tastes wonderful, this cheese. I just won't have any right now. So I found out that if I want to have this for a long time in the cellar, all I have to do is put oregano on it. And as you know, if you have candida, you know that you can take oregano oil, because oregano oil kills yeast. Very, very powerful. And actually the taste is lovely. So I just have this dried oregano, and I just did it without thinking really the first time, and then I realized, oh my goodness, these herbs, especially oregano but also thyme, and they've used them throughout history to preserve things, because they're very antifungal, antibacterial. So all these beautiful essential oils are going into the cheese and just protecting it from yeast. And so the cheese will of course taste differently, but still I can have my apple snack with that. It just tastes different, but it's very delicious. So there we go, and this is better than plastic bags. It's very beautiful, and yeah, just very lovely. So that was my simple feta cheese. And praise the Lord for cows and cheese, hey? See you, my friend.